Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're doing a 2024 Libertarian primary. We're just doing the final rounds and all that. We're, the actual stuff, not the 9-binding crap that they do. And I have several people that I think could end up running, though I don't think every single person on here will run. These are just notable people. Jacob Hornberger, I do think he'll end up running again. I do think Vermin Supreme will throw his hat in again. Kim Ruff, she'll end up running. Adam Caukish, Dan Behrman. Behrman? John McAfee, they'll all run again. That ran in 2020. People who ran in 2016, Austin Peterson, Joe Miller, they'll run again. I also have some mayors. Mayor Bo Woodcock from Wisconsin. Jim Gray, he's the former running mate of Gary Johnson. I do think he'll run. Mayor Ed Tidwell, I think from Ohio, he'll run again. Mayor Glenn Jacobs or Kane from Tennessee. I don't think he'll run, but I think there's a good possibility. Actually, he can't. He's not from America, so kind of get rid of him. He can't run. And we have activist Paul Jacob. So, 1 second, guys. My bad. Now let's start filling out the states of how I think they would go. Hornberger, I obviously think he would take the Midwest easy. I think that's an easy thing. He'd take New York. I think he'd take Arkansas, Louisiana. All these states right up through here I think he'd easily take. Vermin Supreme, he'd obviously take Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts. I think those are easy states for him. Actually, I don't think Missouri would go to Hornberger. I think Peterson would edge out enough delegates in Missouri to end up winning the state. Bo Woodcock, I don't think he'd win his home state of Wisconsin. I don't think Tidwell will win Ohio. Let's see. I think, Dan Behrman, he can end up winning a state or two. McAfee can end up winning a state. He can end up winning Oklahoma, Texas. He can end up winning Kansas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado. He can end up winning these states right down through here. I think the South will go to Hornberger, but maybe not Virginia and Florida. I don't think so. I think Arizona could end up going to Kim Ruff at the end of the day. Caukish. I don't think, there's not really that many states he could really do all that well in. There's not a lot of, I don't think so anyway. Dan Behrman, I think he could end up doing well in the Dakotas. That is just me. Maybe in these more conservative leaning areas, I think he could appeal to the far right here, far right libertarians in the states. John McAfee, I've already talked about him. Joe Miller, I don't think he'll win a single contest. Bo Woodcock, he probably won't either. Jim Gray, I think he could end up winning Oregon, possibly Washington. Actually, I think Vermin Supreme would end up taking Washington and California. Paul Jacob, I think he'd take up ending Maryland, Delaware, this area right up in here. He's got that appeal. I think he'd end up taking Utah as well. Now, we don't have that many states left to call. I do think that McAfee would pick off Florida. I do believe that. Now, of course, this goes down to a majority, so people will be kept getting knocked off and knocked off. This is just round one, of course. I think the rest of the New England area, I do think Vermin Supreme would take that. I think that's handedly going to him. These are different colors. They're very similar. Nevada, I do think McAfee would take Nevada as well as Nebraska. Montana, let's give it to Berman. And, we still got 2 more states. Let's say Caukish wins in Alaska and Supreme wins in Hawaii. This is the end of the first round. And of course, let's say first round they get rid of Woodcock. They get rid of Tidwell on the ballot. They get rid of Miller on the ballot. There you go. Then they go second round. It stays the same. They get rid of Gray, so he's eliminated. They get rid of Peterson. He's eliminated. They get rid of Caukish. He's out of the ballot. Ruff is out of the ballot. So we only have 5 candidates left. Supreme would take Oregon. I do think McAfee would take Arizona. Hornberger would dominate the Midwest and the South, as he would. I do think Berman would take Alaska. They're very weird down there, and I think they would go with the whole taxation is theft kind of thing. And, of course, nobody still has the majority. So we would go on to the next round where they would get rid of Paul Jacob. They would take him off of the ballot. In Utah, I do think that would be a tight one between Hornberger and Berman, but I do think, I do think Hornberger would take Utah, and I do think he'd take whoops, I do think he'd take Virginia as well. He's very popular in the Midwest Southern area, and Supreme would pick off Delaware and Maryland. Again, nobody has the majority. Then we take off Dan Behrman. And again, I think McAfee would pick off all these states. Maybe not Montana. I think Montana would go to Hornberger. In Alaska, I do think McAfee would pick off Alaska. Again, no, Hornberger does not have a majority, so Vermin Supreme would be kicked off of the ballot, which is a damn shame. I mean, we all love the memes and everything, but he'd kick off the ballot. Oregon, I do think, and California, I do think those would go to Hornberger, while McAfee would pick off Washington. I think Hornberger would take Hawaii. New Hampshire, I think McAfee would take off Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts. I think Hornberger would take off Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Delaware is a toughie, but I do think he could take it, which gives him enough of states, or delegates, I guess you could say, to win the, the nomination. So, I know, this was a short video. It was just something I decided to do for fun. I thought it would be a cool video to do. But it was a fun video to do. So, anyway, guys, this is the Chaotic One saying, peace.